Okay, so this week we have been looking at more statistics, and we've looked at the mode and we've looked at the median. And today we are going to look at the mean. Okay, and then maybe tomorrow or the next day we'll look at range. So we are looking at mean. Okay, now mean is essentially another word for average. Most of you would know the word average. Well, in maths we use the word mean, okay? And you might have heard, if you're a fan of football, you might have heard, oh, the average number of goals scored per day, or not per day, per game. So maybe Mo Salah scores, I don't know, 1 goal per game on average. Now, the key word is on average. He doesn't score a goal every game. He might score 2 goals in one game and then not score in the next. And then he might score 1 goal and then he might not score in the next. And then he might score 3 goals. Now, we're going to figure out today how to calculate the average or the mean. What I'll be calling it from now on is the mean. So it's a two-step process. First thing you do is you add up all your values. These will usually be numbers. Add up all of the values to find a total. And then you divide the total by the number of values you added together. So let's have a look at the example here. Here we have numbers as values, okay? And it says here there are 7 values. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grand. 7 numbers, okay? And what we do is we add all these together. And when we add them together, we get 32. And now we divide this total by 7, by the number of values. And that gives us the mean, which is 4.57. Okay, so let's do one of these together now. Just side by side. There we go. Okay, so here's an example. Okay, like I said, Mo Salah. Okay, say that he plays a couple of games, say 3. Here I have, he's played 7 games, okay? And over the 7 games, I want to figure out how many goals he scores on average, his goals per game on average, okay? So in the first game, he scores 2. The second game, he has a hat-trick. Third, he doesn't score at all. Fourth, he doesn't score at all. Fifth, he scores 1. Sixth, he scores 2, and then he scores another hat-trick. So what we do is we add all of these together to see the total number of goals that he scored in the 7 games. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 0 is nothing, plus 0 is nothing. So 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, and then 8 plus 3 is 11. So in total, over 7 games, he scored 11 goals. Okay? Now, what's his mean score? His mean goals per game? Well, how we get that is we divide 11 by 7. Okay? Now this, because there is 7 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'll need to use a calculator for this to get the correct answer, because it won't be an even number. So 11 divided by 7 equals 1.6, we'll say. So his average is 1.6 goals per game, his mean. Now, obviously you can't score 1.6 goals, but what this number means is that he pretty much, if you looked at the whole season, his mean, his average, is definitely 1, but closer to 2 goals per game. See what I mean by that? It's not 2, but he definitely would score on average, or as a mean, he would score 1 per game, but he definitely scores 1, and he might even score 2. So that'll tell us how valuable he is as a player, because if I look at, say, Ronaldo, or I look at Neymar, or whatever, and I look at how many goals they score per game, okay, and their mean goals per game or their average goals per game. Maybe Neymar is actually only 1.2 and maybe Ronaldo is only 0.9. And so you can see who, across the season, the whole season, you can see who's the better player. And you can tell based on these numbers. Okay, here's something that I want you to try, okay, by yourself, and it's hours studied per day, okay? So say you're doing your Leaving Cert and you're doing study, and I want you to figure out your mean hours studied per day, okay? These are the number of hours, and you have to use this technique to figure it out. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, hopefully you've had a go. So the first thing we do is we add up the total number of hours, okay? So 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, and then this day he or she didn't study anything, so we have 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, and then plus 4 is 14. Nice. Okay, so say this was a week, because we have 7 numbers. So these 7 numbers could represent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah? And whoever this was studied 14 hours in total that week. Now, let's see, how many numbers, how many values is there? Well, there's 7 days, so there's 7 numbers. And 0, don't forget, 0 is a number. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we divide the total number of hours studied by 7, and that's a nice one, 14 divided by 7. We don't need to use our calculators. 2 hours of study per day. Okay? And say, you could look at this and say, okay, well, in October I was studying 2 hours of study per day, but maybe in June that might increase, or not June, but May that might increase, because you're trying to do lots of study before the big exams in June. So I have attached a worksheet, and it is the same worksheet as yesterday, but all you have to do today is use this technique, okay, and find the mean of all the different numbers in the worksheet. And I want you to then take a picture of it and send it to me, okay? Good luck.